What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a little bit of a weird install because we're going to be installing a boost gauge in a parking lot. I gotta wait here for a while and I have nothing to do, and this boost gauge isn't hooked up, and I have pretty much I think I have everything to hook it up, so I'm just going to do that real quick, and I'm going to make a video for you guys because I know there's a few of you who asked me like if I've hooked up my boost gauge and how do I do it. I've posted a video in the past, but it could have been like trash and I could have been bad at explaining, so I'm gonna try to explain this one a little better. I'm gonna be using the boost gauge that came with the eBay turbo kit, and if it fails, then I think I'm gonna upgrade to aqueous. I think that's what they're called, aqueous. I don't know, because that's what I ran in my other boosted hard body, and that one held up perfectly fine. It looks good, and it was pretty decently priced. It wasn't expensive, but it wasn't cheap. This one I know it reads vacuum because before I hooked up, before I put like the turbo and everything on, I hooked it up to the intake, and just to see like if it worked, and it did work. It read vacuum at least, because at that time it couldn't read boost. And the way I had it hooked up was pretty hack because it was hooked up to the intake, ran it out the hood. I had my window down and I ran it in here, and I have it hooked up right here. That was, like I said, just to test it out, but today I'm going to be doing it a bit more legit and actually going through the firewall. So I think that's going to be the hardest part, but other than that, this should be a very simple install. So let's get started. Real quick, before we start this install, I'm going to show you guys what goes where. So this one right here is going to go into the FMU if you're running an FMU, which in my case I am, and you're going to follow that line, and then I put a T right here. So then this one is going to go into the intake manifold nipple, and then there's a T which is going to go into this clear silicone line that comes with the eBay turbo kit, which is going to go into the boost gauge. Right here, this T is 2 medium nipples and a small nipple. The reason I had to put that one is because this line right here, this vacuum line, is super small and it fits perfectly snug onto the boost gauge, and if you put like this silicone one, it's too big, so that's why I did that. And then also I forgot to mention that I hooked up my apexi SAFC right here. So this is what I'm going to be using to pretty much tune the truck, I guess you can say. What this does, it allows you to adjust your fuel maps, not really fuel maps, but how much fuel you're getting delivered. So if you want more fuel at 3,000 RPM, you crank that button up, you get more fuel. And then if you want less at like 2,000, then you take some away, and so on and so forth. You get the deal. But this goes connected and spliced into the ECU, which is right under me right now. I put the seat back on, but if you guys are interested in seeing how I hooked this up and spliced it, I'll make a video showing exactly which wires I spliced in and all that fancy jazz. But huge thanks for Ronnie over at Local Losers, guys. He was a massive help with this install. I'm gonna have his Instagram and his YouTube down below, so you guys want to check him out. He has a really sick boosted hard body project going on right now, so I'd highly recommend you guys check it out. But once again, thank you, Ronnie. So this is where I put the vacuum line into the intake manifold. I unplugged this one. There's a little nipple right here. I'll show you guys where it's at. Right in there. Right where the little sandwich plate is, like where the little top hat sits on the runners. And then I have the T right there that you guys saw, it just goes back here into the FMU right there. And then this one, I ran it through the grommet for the factory harness. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It's being squished a little, but I'm sure boost can still go through it. I'm gonna eventually cut a hole somewhere over there, and then like right in the center, and then put a grommet right there, because I removed all the AC components over here in the engine bay, but I still want to remove the dash and possibly get a gray dash because I hate brown dashes. It looks so hideous. But that's not the point of this video. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to remove the dash, and then I'm going to rip out all the AC stuff behind because I don't really need it, so it makes no sense to just keep it there. So like the heater core, take all the little pipings, all the little like tubes that run in here for these vents, and then I'm gonna make a custom gauge holder up here. So instead of my gauge just being like tossed around or like being down here, I'm gonna have them mocked up like that. So I'm probably gonna have, I'm thinking either boost gauge for sure, AFR gauge for sure, and then the other one right here, I might do oil pressure because I already have the bunk for it. I just need to buy the actual gauge and put it in. It's not that hard. And then the rest, like water temp, oil temp, all that. If I really need all that in the future, then I could probably put those up there on the pillar, but I doubt I'll need those. I'm gonna run the basic ones right here. So once you've got the vacuum line going through the firewall, then you want to just put it on the back of your boost gauge, and there you go, it's ready to go. There's like a clear film on here just to protect the lens, but don't think there's anything wrong with it. And then right here you have two wires coming out. You have a yellow one and a black one. I don't know why they would put yellow, but I guess, you know. I'm pretty sure that the black one is just to ground it like anywhere on the chassis, any bolt that's like bare metal, and then this is for your 12 volt power. I'd recommend putting this on something like on your auxiliary switch, so like tapping it into your radio, so when you turn off your key, the gauge lights turn off, and then when you turn your key on, the gauge lights turn on. So you don't need those to actually, like, for the gauge to work. That's just for the lights inside, so at night when you're driving, you could see your gauge. But don't think you have to, like, if you don't know anything about wiring and you don't drive your car or truck at night, you don't need to do that. You just need to put in the actual vacuum line and you're all good to go. Now, I know this video was a little short and kind of really basic and kind of really straightforward, but I know there's a few of you who hit me up and tell me to make a video like this because you guys don't know what to do. And I know there's a few of you who are going to be like, why does he even make videos like that? That's why, because when I get special requests, I try to make videos for those people, because I know in the past when I didn't know crap about cars, I would try to ask people and nobody would really help me. So I'm trying to help you guys as much as I can. That's the whole point of this YouTube channel. I'm not just going to like build my cars and just put them out there. Like, I want to, if you guys have questions, you guys want to do what I do, I want to answer them, help you guys. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions on anything else on the truck, it doesn't have to be based on the turbo, maybe how I lowered it, on how I did something, you guys can comment down below and I answer almost all questions. So